Good evening, everybody. It's Lynn here, the Golivegranny, and I'm live streaming here on Facebook on, what is the date? Ooh, I've forgotten what the date is, folks. Let's just go back. Hang on. It is the 23rd. No, is it the 23rd? Yes, I think so. I think it is Tuesday the 23rd of February 2021. Sorry, it normally comes on as I put the tablet on, but I actually already had the tablet on. So let's go and have a look. Good evening, Yvonne. Good evening, Sarah. Here we go. We are here. That's it. Good. Sarah's in. Hazel's in. Good morning, Hazel, coming in from Australia. Hi, Guy. Nice to see you. Let's have a look. Let's just share it to the group. There we go. So who else is in? Kath. Hi, Kath, everyone. It's Tuesday. And so what did you choose to do today? Hi, Laura. What did you choose today? I chose to knit, and I chose to knit for me for a change, which I will show you in a minute. Hi, Jan. Hi, Maria and Rachel and Laura and Richard and Heather. And Tracy, lots of you coming in. Janice came in there as well before that. Caroline's in as well. Lovely to see you. If I missed anybody, it's because it didn't come up. It says two, you know, it sometimes says 5 of you are watching, but it doesn't name you. So sorry. Kath has worked today. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you in. So I'm in here today. Because my son's not doing role play today, but my daughter-in-law is doing some sewing. She's mending a book rack that for my granddaughter's book rack that's fabric. It has fabric pockets and they've come to bits. So she's got the sewing machine up on the table in the other room, and my son is in there doing some. I don't know whether he's working or whether he's on a game or what, I don't know. But they're in there, so that's why I'm in here today. So June's watching in, Paul's watching, Andrew's in. Thank you for sharing, Yvonne. It's always great when you share. Melissa, hello, Melissa. Nice to see you coming in there as well. So what has everybody been doing today? I've just finished watching a film about 15 minutes ago. I've been knitting all day, and I've been knitting for me this time. Food shop and washing, right? Okay. So today it's been all about knitting for me, having done 4 jumpers and three cardigans and 1 jumper since I've been here, plus scarves and toys and other bits and pieces. Now it was time to make something for me. Hi, Sandy. And of course, this gorgeous wool I bought from Isle of Wight before I came away at Christmas, but I left it at home because I was only supposed to be away for a few days, and I'll knit my jumper when I get home, I thought. That's because I thought I was going to go home on the 28th of December or about then. And that's when it snowed and it stopped my return home, and then Boris locked us down. Hi, Sandy. Nice to see you. And so my sister-in-law went to my flat and got my wool, and that my brother posted it out to me. So I thought, well, as it's been posted out, I jolly well better get on and do it. You've had your jab, Laura. Hope you're feeling okay. Lots of people catching up with their jabs now, which is brilliant. So last night, after the broadcast, I finished off my daughter-in-law's cardigan I showed you last night, but it still had a lot of ends that I hadn't weaved in. So I weaved the ends in last night, and then I started my own cardigan last night. So let me show you how much do you think I have done? How far do you think I've got with my own cardigan? I know I posted just now a picture, but it was all curled up, so you might guess or you might not guess how far I've got with it. Some of you have challenged me to have it done by Friday. So do you think I'm making good progress? And for those of you who don't know, this is the cardigan I am making. So that's it's stocking stitch at the sides. I don't think you can see it very well. Stocking stitch at the sides, and it's ribbed down the front, the 2 panels at the side. It's ribbed. Right, okay. Right. No, I think, Tegan, I think I'm going to be able to leave before June. I think we can interpret it that I will be home before June. I think, you know, that there are reasons why I can go home. Tracy thinks I've knitted all of it. Tracy, I might be quick at knitting, but I haven't knitted the whole cardigan. Don't forget, it's a long cardigan and I only started it last night. I know it's chunky wool and big needles, but I am not quite that fast a knitter, Tracy. Paul thinks I've done half of it. No, not half, but I'll show you in a minute. Yvonne's knitted a daffodil tonight and it took you an hour and a half. Couldn't believe how tricky it was. Oh, okay. So Glynis is saying that's beautiful. Well, this cardigan is beautiful, and when I've done this one with this wool, I might actually get some wool this sort of colour and make the jumper. This is a jumper. I don't normally wear jumpers. I normally wear cardigans, but do you know what? I fancy this as a jumper and I fancy it in that colour. So let's see. Rachel thinks I've done the back of it. Hazel thinks I've done the back. Hi, Catherine. Tegan's addicted on Pixel. You have a kit arrived today. Excellent. And that's brilliant. So so let me see. Janice thinks the back, Rachel thinks the back. No, actually what I've done is, whoops, I have done the front, the left front. So this is this bit. So let me show you. So it's stocking stitched that side, and this bit is ribbed down the front. Now I've stopped at that point. I could have finished it off, but I was watching Forrest Gump and it was due to finish about 9:45, and so I didn't want to run upstairs and get a cardigan to measure it because I don't want it short. One or two of the cardigans we've done have come up a little bit shorter than perhaps we wanted them, so I don't want this short, I want it long. And so this cardigan I've got on is a long one, goes down past my bottom, and I want this to do the same. So after Forrest Gump, I ran upstairs to measure it and to get this. So after the broadcast, I will finish this off. So I'm almost at the shoulder shaping, but I think I'm going to do a bit more before I start shaping the shoulders, because I think I want it about that much longer than it is. So there we go. So because I didn't want to run upstairs and measure it, but I was still watching the film, what I thought I would do is start the ribbing on the right front, so because I hate to sit idle, so I started the ribbing on the right front rather than finish the shaping. So tonight I'll finish the shaping. You like a lot? Yes, long cardigans are good. So let's see who's been. Wait a minute. Let's go back. Jan's been knitting a. Wait a minute. Yvonne thought I had done the front and a sleeve. No, not quite that much. Maria was right. She thought I'd done a side panel. Right, wait a minute, Jan's been knitting a gollywog, if that's how you spell it. Yes, that's how you spell gollywog. I love gollywogs. I used to knit loads of gollywogs when my nieces and nephews were small. I made lots of them for them. So thank you. You had to repair clothing with your new machine. Ah, well done, Sarah. Sarah's got a new sewing machine. She's got a dinky one of those baby ones. So thank you, everybody who's saying it's beautiful. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying making it. And look, you know, I think I'm going to be pretty pleased when it's done. So there we go. Let's have a look. Right. Jackie. Hello, Jackie. Jackie's in the house as well. Night, Caroline. Yes, Kath likes... That's the idea of cardigans. She likes cardigans that keep out the drafts. That's it. We don't want the wind blowing in on poor old Granny. Through every nook and every cranny, the wind blew in on poor old Granny, which is a Spike Milligan poem, but I don't know all of it, so I won't repeat it now because I shall forget half of it. Anyone ever made a Mrs. Brown's Boys style cardigan with coloured pockets? Oh, I'll have to have a look at what she wears because I can't quite remember. I am looking at some stage to do myself a very rainbow type jumper. But, you know, this one first. And then wool arrived. When did it arrive? It arrived yesterday for a second cardigan for me. I don't know if I'll still be here. I might have to take the wool home because not quite sure. We're going to have a family discussion as to when I go home, where it fits in with Boris's rules. So there we go. So that's what I've been doing today. What has everybody else got on their needles? Jan's got a gollywog. Yvonne's been doing a daffodil, because of course the theme for us knitters is spring. So I'm going to wear my cardigan in spring. That's my excuse. No, I was just desperate to get on and make myself a cardigan. Having done them for other people, I thought it was time I did one for me. I've come away with only 2 cardigans, so if I have another one to put into the mix while I'm still here, that will be handy, won't it? So let me know what the rest of you are knitting. If you haven't been knitting, what have you been doing today? Anybody been tending to their garden or anything like that? Of course, when I get back, I won't be doing as much knitting because I will have to tend and tidy up the Golivegranny community garden. It's had a lot of wind blowing around it. It needs tidying up, and lots of beautiful spring plants or summer plants getting planted. Doing something for Mother's Day, knitting a sunflower. Beautiful, Jackie. Sunflowers are beautiful. And for my mum's birthday last year, some of you will have seen, it was her 95th birthday, I used a shadow box, one of those shadow boxes from Hobbycraft, and I crocheted some sunflowers and put them in, and it looked so effective behind the glass. So that's what I did for my mum for her birthday. I think I might make her a wreath, a flower wreath this time. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to be doing something shortly, especially during the fortnight when we're concentrating on spring. So I will get it, I will jump into it. I'm going to do this cardigan, and then I'm going to leap into action. I'm going to spring into action on the spring theme. So there we go. Hi Karen, nice to see you in. Andrew is currently turning some of his shrink art items into 2 pairs of earrings. Excellent, that's well done. Lots and lots of crafty people in this group, very crafty group. So lovely to see Karen in again, Karen Eels. Yvonne loves Mrs. Brown's Boys. She finds it very funny. I expect lots of you do too. Yes, it is funny. Laura does too. Right. Oh, Janice is saying she had to put her knitting down and she started watching Behind Her Eyes. It's on Netflix, and you binge watched it. It's a good watch. So Janice, give us a little more detail about what it's about, because I like to know what things are about before I actually watch them. Today I watched Forrest Gump. I've never seen Forrest Gump before, and I know it was a popular film. Went to watch it the other day, and then something happened. I couldn't cast it to the TV. Something happened because we have Chromecast here, so we can cast from our phones to the TV, and something happened and I didn't watch it. But I thought, you know what, today I'm not going to watch the quizzes, I'm going to watch Forrest Gump, and I found it very, very entertaining. So goodness, you've had rain and strong winds today, so no outside work done. It's been very windy here, but it hasn't been wet. I think it's just been windy here. So you did quilling for the first time. Paul, isn't quilling lovely? And for any of you who do quilling, Isle of Wool sells quilling papers and quilling tools. So if you're looking for supplies, don't think Isle of Wool only sells wool. It doesn't. It sells all sorts of craft items, and their quilling papers are very reasonably priced. So if somebody can drop the Isle of Wool link in, that would be handy. Maria's saying that she's just started watching her Behind Her Eyes, and saying it seems to be a good watch. Excellent. It's going to be... Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, no. Now we've gone back to knitting. Sorry, Jackie's going to put the sunflower on a ring so she can hang it in her window. That sounds lovely, Jackie. And maybe, is it a downstairs window? Is it a window where other people will be able to appreciate it as well? Let's hope it is. Hi, Dan. Nice to see you. I'm fine, thank you. Now, Sarah says she loves Mrs. Brown's Boys. Did you know they're all related or very close family friends? No, I didn't know that. That will come in useful perhaps for some sort of quiz sometimes, I expect. That might well be good, Whoops, let's put my glasses back on. So, good evening, Becky. Laura was also interested in Behind Her Eyes. So who is the her the lady who it's behind her eyes. So whose eyes is it behind? I'd like to know. I haven't heard much. I haven't heard of it. So anyway, Forrest Gump. Yeah, I enjoyed Forrest Gump very much indeed. Patricia's in. Hello, Patricia. Nice to see you. What have you been up to? I expect you've done some knitting today, if I know you, Patricia. That's it. Yes. Kath also asking about what is behind her eyes about, Janice. So let's have a look. You really enjoyed it, but you have to watch it as you miss something. If you miss something, you've lost it. Well, how would I manage? Because I like to knit while I'm watching. I wonder whether I would be, whether I'd be able to cope with something like that. I don't like just sitting and just watching. I love to have my knitting in my hands. So maybe it's not one for me. Maybe it is. I don't know. We'll see. Becky's saying she loves some of the British shows, and she loves Mrs. Brown's Boys. Of course, Becky coming in from the States. Her daughter is his wife in Miss... Right, Maria's saying in Mrs. Brown's Boys, she thinks her daughter is his wife. Right, okay, all very confusing, I'm sure. And Laura's saying, yes, that is correct. So there we go. So anyway, I've got a story to read to you tonight. I thought I would read. I've been reading to my granddaughter today. I mean, I read to her most days. She absolutely consumes books like this, like there's no tomorrow. She loves her stories. And so I don't know if any of you know this book. This book is called The Astronauty Naughty Baddies. And my daughter-in-law said, I think your community will like that book. And when my granddaughter chose this today, I can understand why she thought you might like this book. So I'm going to read you a bedtime story. So if you're all ready, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. That's taken from Listen with Mother that I used to listen to as a child. That's what they used to say. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Patricia's knitting at the moment, but as it's such a lovely day, she mowed the lawns and did some gardening. Excellent. I think you missed the comment. I don't think you'd come into the broadcast when I was asking if anybody had been in the garden, maybe. Hi, Crystal. Glad to see you're getting your gardening organised. Mary, no worries. People think it's a bit odd. Right, okay. You watched Benidorm last night. It was so funny. Okay, Rachel, that's another one we might have to have a look at. Anyway, let me read you. If you're sitting comfortably, I will begin this book. Okay. It says, for Hannah, a wicked story for my wicked niece. So let's have a look and see. I'll show you the pictures. Yeah, Buster is his son, and he's married to Betty in real life. Oh my goodness, I can't keep up with all that. Thank you, Sarah, for putting it in, but I can't. I'll look at it afterwards. So it seems they're all related, and you're working out all the relationships. Anyway, one mischief-making morning, the naughty baddies were creeping about, creep, when they spotted something that made them come to a sudden, excited stop. I'll show you the pictures in a minute. It was a poster on the wall and it said, can you prove that alien life actually exists? You can. Then come to the President's Palace to claim your toy-tastic reward. The naughty baddies gave wicked grins, and quick as a flash, a madcap plan formed in their villainous heads. So there we go, the baddies, and this is the poster they saw. Okay. I'll catch up with the comments in a minute, folks, after I've read your storybook. I hope you're sitting comfortably. I hope you're listening nicely. We could jump on our space hopper, said one. Boing, boing, boing. They must have known our theme was spring, because they're springing about. Boing, boing, boing. Then climb into our Badmobile, suggested two. Whoosh! Steal a space rocket, thought three. Then blast off at super naughty speed all the way to the moon's kazoom. Look. So here we go. The last and final part of their diabolical plan involved capturing some aliens and claiming a fantabulous reward. So There we go. They're going off to the moon to catch some aliens. Okay, nice to see you in, Crystal. But, said 4, just as they were about to boying into action. That doesn't seem quite naughty enough. I think they're thinking of the naughty brigade on the naughty step, I'm sure. Then 4 arched a fiendish eyebrow and gave a wicked laugh. For suddenly 4 had come up with the naughtiest plan in the entire universe, and best of all, it was brilliant bonkers. We should now listen. This is the bit I think where my daughter-in-law thought it was very relevant. We should snaffle some knitting needles. Snaffle, snaffle, snaffle. Swipe some wool. Swipe, 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 and make gloriously green alien costumes. Knit, knit, knit. So here we are. So look. Who does that remind you of, sitting there with knitting and knitting needles? But the naughty baddies, look, they're stealing the knitting needles, and they're taking the knitting needles and the wool, and they're knitting alien outfits. Can't think who that might remind you of. Then we should disappear down a drain. Whee! Climb up the palace wall, climb, 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 and hoodwink the president with our mind-boggling disguises. So there we are. They're going to knit alien outfits and be disguised as aliens in Granny's knitted wool. So there we go. In 3 clicks of a knitting needle, the dastardly plan was underway, and at exactly 4 minutes past snack time, the naughty, naughty baddies landed in the president's bedroom. Are you sure these are real aliens? Frowned the president, because Mr. Snugglehugs here thinks they look slightly homemade. Of course they're real, said 4. They even have weird woolly tentacles. Look. The 3 green buttoned aliens wiggled and jiggled their weird woolly tentacles with extraterrestrial glee. Tee-hee, what naughty, naughty aliens. So here we go. And that's Mr. Snugglehugs. What's he called? Mr. Snugglehugs is actually the teddy bear. So you need to remember that, because that's relevant later in the story. Okay, this is the president, and that's his Snugglehugs there. Well, gasped the president after giving it some weird woolly thought, I suppose these creatures do look totally out of this world. Follow me. Hi, Sally. We're having a bedtime story about the naughty, naughty baddies. The president led them down to the deep, dark depths of the presidential palace, where he revealed the most fantabulous reward ever. Okay, folks, there we go. I can see some love coming in, folks. Let's have a look. Wait a minute. Right, so more toys than the naughty, naughty baddies had seen in their whole villainous lives. It was the moment our 4 fiendish fraudsters had been waiting for. Yippee! Look, there we go. Look at all the toys. They want to get their hands on all the toys, the baddies. They are naughty, naughty. Thank you for all the love coming in. Well, those naughty, naughty baddies couldn't help themselves. Grab, grab, grab. 1 grabbed some roller skates. Crash. 2 grabbed chemistry set. Number 1, yes. 1 grabbed the roller skates. Number 2 grabbed a chemistry set. Kaboom! But oh dear, 3 grabbed something that 3 should not have grabbed. Okay, so look, there's the kaboom. Look, I love these things. These sort of stories. So 3 should not have grabbed. He shouldn't have grabbed it. And what he grabbed were some dangling threads. Hi, Ruby. Whirl, twirl, whirly whirl. Suddenly the naughty, naughty baddies' brilliant plan began to unravel right before their very eyes. Oh no, look what's happened to their costumes. They caught the thread and they are, look, what's happening to the costumes, the knitted costumes. Oh no. Oops, they were completely undone. Fakes, shrieked the president. Fake aliens. Mr. Snugglehugs was right all along. That's the teddy, of course. Then, without further ado, the president announced a truly terrible punishment for those naughty, naughty baddies. So look, all their costumes, the wool costumes all unravelled, and there's just a pile of green wool all over here. Can you see? Oh, doesn't he look a bit cross, the president? My goodness me. So, I hope you're enjoying your bedtime story, folks. And if you've just come in, you'll have to go back so that you can have the whole story. You shall put back all the toys exactly as you found them, he scowled, and go home totally rewardless. Drat and double drat. The naughty, naughty baddies hate tidying up and losing out. But to everyone's shock and surprise, the naughty, naughty baddies did put away the president's toys, though it took them a long, grumbly time. Moan, groan, moany, groan. There they are. Sarah's getting lots of notifications that Patricia's watching. And so is Sarah's popping up a lot too. But they didn't go home completely empty-handed, for just as the president was getting ready for bed, a loud weeping wail rang through the night. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Where's my sweet, sweet Mr. Snugglehugs? Came the panicky cry. I can't sleep without him. And of course, Mr. Snugglehugs is the bear, the teddy bear. And the president can't sleep without his teddy bear. Whoops. Hang on. Oh my, what naughty, naughty baddies. Well, I hope the president gets his teddy bear back, because if he can't sleep, he's going to be very tired, isn't he? Look, naughty, naughty bear, naughty, naughty baddies. They've got Mr. Snugglehugs there with them. Aren't they naughty? So there we go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed your bedtime story about the naughty baddies who stole Granny's knitting needles and Granny's wool and made knitted costumes. And Andrew's saying, have I ever made wool costumes? No, I haven't. I made myself a dress. I knitted myself a dress once when I was younger. And I actually was, I was just finishing it off when I was going somewhere. So I was actually stitched into it. Surprise, surprise. But it was a beautiful dress, and it had a wonderful, it was zigzag at the bottom. The pattern all the way down was zigzags, but the only trouble was, because it was made of wool, it was quite heavy, so it ended up growing while I was out, because the weight of it made it go longer and longer. It didn't go too, I didn't trip over it, but it just came back. I came home with a longer dress on than I'd gone out with. So there you go. Kath, you enjoyed the story. I'm glad you did. Ruby's been watching this broadcast 10 times now. Well, Facebook is having some funny things going on there. So who knows? Anyway, I also brought down my little Winnie the Pooh's Little Book of Wisdom, Wise Words from a Bear of Very Little Brain. I think it's for the broad-minded. Oh, right. So Carol said she doesn't like Mrs. Brown's Boys, find it vulgar. You're quite level-minded, but that's the worst. Sorry to burst your bubble. No, it doesn't burst my bubble, but it's interesting to see that Carol, who's quite happy to say knickers and things like that, it doesn't like Mrs. Brown's Boys. But everybody's entitled to their opinion, so it's okay. Yvonne's enjoyed the story. I'm glad you have. Now, let's read what it says in here. Right, let's see. Check your store cupboard. This is what it says. It's sort of comforting to know if you have 14 pots of honey left or 15, as the case may be. So you do need to know whether you've got 14 pots of honey or 15 pots of honey. Have I ever knitted a bikini? No. No, I haven't, Andrew, and I don't intend to anytime soon. Not unless it was just for a doll. I might have done one for a doll, but not for a real person. like the most of you, like Michael McIntyre, Sarah can't stand him. Oh, I find him so funny. I'll be giggling, and I can watch the same sketch again and again and again and still giggle time after time after time. One of my favourites is the spice cupboard on that one. Ruby says she's got 1 pot of honey. Right. This one is entitled Anticipation. Although eating honey is a very good thing to do, there is a moment just before you begin to eat it which is better than when you are. So that's the anticipation of eating your honey. I don't know. I think eating the honey is better than the anticipation, to be honest. Plan ahead. Many a bear going out on a warm day would never think of bringing a little something with him. So, you know, I think he's probably thinking of honey again. Let's have a little look. Have a friendly day, this one says. When you've been walking in the wind for miles and you suddenly go into somebody's house and he says, "Hello, Pooh, you're just in time for a little smackerel of something," and you are, then it's what I call a friendly day. Kath can't stand McIntyre either. You don't tolerate him or anything. You switch off. It's interesting, isn't it, how different we all are and how our sense of humours all vary. Carol says she likes the story. She might disguise as an alien on the naughty step. Well, just be careful, Carol. If you sit on the naughty step and there's a piece of a hook or something hanging out, be careful, because it might unravel your alien costume. And we don't want that. That would be disaster, wouldn't it, Carol? You like Hold the Sunset with John Cleese. I don't know that. I find John Cleese very funny, but I don't know Hold the Sunset. I'll have to look that one up. Patricia said she crocheted a bikini when she was a teenager and it was fine until you went into the sea. Then it was, yes, especially white items. White items, I know, maybe more with sewing, they become very transparent. And obviously Patricia had an embarrassing time once she'd been in the sea with her knitting. I bet you didn't knit another one after that. Dear, oh dear. Right, this one says control your stress levels. Let's see what that says. To seem quite at ease, hum tiddly pum, once or twice is what shall we do now kind of way. Right, okay, wait a minute. To seem quite at ease, hum tiddly pum, once or twice in a what shall we do now kind of way. That's how you're supposed to control your stress levels. I think it might take a little bit more than that during the times of pandemic. I think he might need to. We might need a different strategy. You love the old reruns of The Last of the Summer Wine and Dad's Army. Sarah's saying it may unravel the stitches of the elastic on her knickers if she's not careful. Absolutely, there might be a sharp bit on the stair. Now, when I was coming down the stairs today, I noticed that one of the grippers, the carpet grippers, was a bit sticking out, you know, so you never know. It depends. I don't know whether our naughty step's got carpet on it or not. It might have grippers, and if they grip your knickers, that wouldn't be so good, would it? But you know those foundation knickers, the ones that are supposed to hold your tummy in. The word grippers just made me think. My first husband used to call, I had some of those. I probably had them when I didn't even need to wear them. You know, and now I do need to wear them. I'm not bothering. He used to call them my gripper knickers. So there we are. You see, I've said knickers tonight. How naughty am I? Naughty step. Hello, Mary. Lovely to see you in the broadcast. We're having a general chit chat. We've had a bedtime story, and we're having a general chit chat. We're talking about what people like on the TV. Andrew's loving reruns of Corrie and EastEnders on daily. Now, you see, I've hardly ever watched Corrie at all. And EastEnders I used to watch, but do you know what? It's so miserable. You know, yes, things do happen in real life and that are miserable, but I don't want to, that's not my, I can understand why people watch it, because I used to watch it, but these days I don't. I like much more cheerful stuff as a rule. Grip knickers, yes, grip. Absolutely. You can't imagine it being fine out of the sea either. No. Dear, oh dear. Anybody else had any disasters with outfits? You know, I mean, there we go. I am very well, Catherine. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you in the broadcast. I'm very well indeed. Let's see if we can find another little words of wisdom from Winnie the Pooh's Words of Wisdom book. This one is called Understanding. It's headed Understanding. Rabbit is clever. Rabbit has brain. I suppose that's why he never understands anything. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Never mind. So there we go. A honey pot full of wise words and useful advice on the pleasures and problems of life from that bear of very little brain, Winnie the Pooh. That's what it says on the back of this book. You would have to knit for yourself with cotton yarn as you can't wear wool. It doesn't agree with me. This is yarn. It's, you know, we have to be careful perhaps not to call it wool anymore because I'm allergic to wool. It irritates my skin. Could you imagine if I, you know, I could only get balls of yarn that had wool in them. So this is premium acrylic. I'm knitting with premium acrylic. That's what it says on the ball band. So I don't have any wool in this one. I always have to check carefully if it's for me. I haven't actually had any issues with knitting wool. If I was knitting wool, I haven't had an allergy on my hands, but if I wear wool, I have an allergy. Oh, it makes me itch like mad. Right. Let's have a look. Sarah's liking the reruns of Only Fools and Horses on the Gold Channel. Did you see your pattern you're knitting, Lynn? No, I didn't. Where did you put it, Sally? I can't remember whether I've seen it or not. What is it you're knitting, Sally? Reminds me. I might have seen it and forgotten. Patricia's saying it was very revealing, her bikini, when it got wet. Oh dear, oh dear. Good job we can laugh about these things now we're much older, isn't it? I don't suppose it was I don't suppose you were laughing about it at the time. Let's have a look. Hang on, I'm just going to have a little bit of... Yeah, so acrylic should work for you, Kath, when you start to do your knitting. Get some acrylic, premium acrylic. This one is the chunky, shadow chunky. This is what my lovely wool is that I've been knitting today. Is pure wool more? Yes, pure wool would be. There's you know, there's some very posh wool, balls of wool, and things like alpaca wool and different wools. I don't buy them, so I don't actually know, but I think they are more, you know, you can pay a lot for wool. Not very exciting, but the elastic totally went in your maternity skirt when you were quite heavily pregnant and teaching in a big London secondary school. Whoops. You just caught it before it fell down too. Much it was funny at the time. I'm sure it was. You can't wear acrylic either. Oh, just cotton. Okay, well, good job you can get cotton yarn then, Kath. You'll be all right. On the community page, a cream jumper with cable down the middle or back. Yes, I think I did. Have I approved it, Sally? I can't remember. I approved most of the posts. Ruby's got a lamb's wool jumper on. Oh my goodness, I bet that's lovely and soft, isn't it, Ruby? Janice is saying she remembers her granny knitting you a dress when you were young with candy floss wool and it was so scratchy. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, oh Sally, yes, sorry, I'll have to go back and have another look. Sometimes I forget what's there and what's not. I'll go and have another look, Sally. So what was that? Disasters in... Yes, I was walking down the street once and I had knickers again. I've told this story before. I had a pair of knickers that tied up at the side. Instead of having elastic around the top, they tied up at the side. And obviously I hadn't tied them up very well at the side. And one side decided to undo itself while I was walking along. And so my knickers fell down. Now, the best way in that... This is top tip from Golivegranny. if your knickers fall down, don't get into a big flap and make a big fuss, because everybody will look. Just step out of them, put them in your pocket and carry on, which is what I did, and didn't draw attention to myself. Well, I hope I didn't anyway. So there we go. Your husband watches Gold all day. I hope he's finding lots of lovely things on there to watch, Patricia. Poor Kath has to just buy cotton jumpers and cardigans, and if they aren't any, you have to do without. Oh dear. No, because it's making her feel itchy just talking about wool. You saw some alpaca wool for sale today. Has anyone used it? No, I haven't used it, but again, because I don't think it would be good for my skin. It's short. You're going to make it longer. Okay, righty-ho. Excellent. Maria's saying, best cotton to use and cheaper than most, called Drops Saffron. It's lovely and only just over £1 a ball. Okay, thank you for that. Drop your knickers and carry on regardless. Absolutely, Jackie. There was, you could make a big fuss in the middle of the street and then everybody would look. So I just thought, oh my goodness, pick them up, put them in my pocket, and on I go. I'm just trying to think whether there when we had any more malfunctions. I can't think. Oh yes, once when I was at school, we made and I was at school. Our school uniform were these colours. So this so reminds me of my school uniform, but I liked it. Some people didn't. We used to have check dresses and skirts out of this, and when we were at school we made ourselves skirts. This is at primary school, top end of primary school, and I made a skirt in check that's all these colours, lilacs and greys and whites, and I obviously wasn't very good when I put the elastic in, because I was in the playground and I think we were throwing balls, we were playing catch or something, and I went to throw the ball and I went like this and it caught in my skirt. And as it caught in my skirt, so the elastic went. But fortunately, I managed to hold onto my skirt and it didn't fall down. So there we go. Granny went, come on. I wasn't a granny at the time. It was when I was, probably in my teens. No, it wasn't. It was after I was first married. It was when I was newly married. So I was in my early 20s when it happened, because I can remember the pants that it was. And I can remember buying them, so I know the time schedule, So there we go. Let's have a look. You told Lynn a few months ago that your button fell off at work, your work trousers, and you were at work. You had to find a safety pin to hold them up all day. Absolutely. Cass had to do that too. Alpaca wool is beautiful to knit and wear, very warm. But is it itchy, Yvonne? Is it itchy like, or other wool? She's copying the kilt wearers, yes, to use their pins. You had a pair of tartan trousers for your volunteering at the Scottish Kilt Walk, and the waist was a little too small, so you had to use elastic bands to keep them up, and it did the trick. Elastic bands, they must have had, elastic bands aren't always very strong, are they? You also get very hot and bothered in wool, acrylic, etc., as well as itchy, even if it's freezing. Oh well, then avoid it like the plague. You're nothing worse than having itchy skin. I can tell you, because before I went grain free, I had the most dreadful itchy skin, itchy legs, and for 5 years I was a bit of a recluse, because the hospital, they just kept giving me more tablets. They didn't really investigate what was causing the problem, and so for 5 years I hardly ever went out. And they became very itchy, and of course sometimes I would scratch. Sometimes you can't help yourself, can you? And I would scratch. They became very raw and very, very swollen, so my legs were like tree trunks. And then it was my friend Tina Hyde. She was Tina Hughes, and then she became Tina Hyde. And she put me on a grain-free diet, and within 5 weeks, after 5 years of the hospital not getting it right, within 5 weeks my legs started to improve. I still have an irritation on my leg, but it's not nearly as severe. It doesn't stop me going out. It doesn't stop me doing things like that anymore. But it was horrendous. So I used to take pictures of it just so that I could show the doctors, and it was horrendous. I could hardly walk down the street, so I didn't. But there we go. No, he didn't mean his granny. He meant me when my knickers fell down, Ruby. So let's have a look. Always have so it's not your age. It's you just get hot and bothered in wool. Okie dokie. Yes, we'll have to remind you again when you start knitting. How many days now, Kath, till you retire? I've lost count. Kath's counting days down till she retires, and it's not very long. So she's looking forward to giving up, and then I bet she'll be busier when she's given up teaching than before. So your retirement, you'll be very, very busy, I'm sure. So there we go. So what has everybody else got planned for this week? Is it the same old again, or anybody got anything different? You know, different things to do. Mine will be knitting, of course. And I'm going to try and meet your challenge of finishing this cardigan and wearing it on Friday night for my broadcast. How about that? I was looking at buttons today, but I didn't find any that I liked. So but on Friday night, it won't have its buttons on, but I will find some and get some ordered. But of course, we get them ordered. Even if they come the next day, we do 3-day quarantine. So I won't have the buttons on by Friday night. So let's hope that I'll be wearing the cardigan though. We'll see. 31 days to go. Excellent. Andrew's saying his first pair of earrings, love heart and smiley faces with love heart eyes, are now complete and bagged. Let's see pictures of them, please, Andrew. And yes, Sarah says it's same old for her. So no more exciting things. Well, do you know what? I think I'm going to end the broadcast a little bit early. I expect you'll tell me off now. Ruby will say, no, don't go. Okay, so if you don't want me to go, you have to keep chatting because I haven't got any more things to show you. You've been, like many a times, itching constantly. It happens when you have your morphine. They've given you some cream called Urex. Stops itching fast, works for up to 10 hours. Other creams don't work. No. Okay, oh, that's, you know, it's not nice when your skin gets itchy, is it? My mum, years ago, when we were all living at home, you know, when we were all children at home, my mum had the most horrendous skin problem on her hands, and she used to go for all sorts of treatments to try and get it sorted. And I know that she ended up going to the homeopathic hospital in London and seeing if that worked. I don't know whatever worked in the end because, you know, her hands are not all itchy like that now, but they were horrendous. They were cracked and sore and, you know, so difficult if your hands are like that, isn't it, to do anything? Right. Oh, yeah, yes, Kath, my legs were bad for 5 years. And then it was wait a minute. Let's have a look. I'm trying to think how long I've been grain free. I can't remember, but it hopped up in my Facebook memories the other day. I was talking about it in a broadcast, and I can't remember what year it was. Was it 3 years or was it more than 3 years ago? I think it was more than 3 years ago that maybe it's about 5 years ago that I went grain free, and it was amazing because Tina just gave me the new diet, and in 5 weeks it started to get better. So there we go. So yes, no, my legs are there's still a skin irritation on it, and I just don't seem to be able to get rid of the last bit. But you know, they swole up so much before, and I couldn't hardly stand up, but now they're okay. When you say grain free, what do I cut out? I cut out all grain, so I don't have bread, I don't have flour, I don't have pasta, not normal pasta, but of course there's lots of pasta now that's made with things like lentils and other things, so that we can find the pasta that doesn't have wheat in it. Of course, it's not so much the wheat is the problem, it is it's the chemicals that they put on them. You know, that's what does the damage. And so loads of things I can't have, but there's lots of things I can, Sally. My friend she'd she'd been very ill. Before I ever knew her, she was very, very ill. And the medical people never got to the bottom of it. So she did all the research herself. And she tested all sorts of things. And so I have lists of all the things that I can eat and I can't eat. And these days, I can look at the ingredients now and decide what I can't have. Can't have things like barley, can't have things like mustard, sweet corn, things like that. But so many things I can have. And you know what? My diet is much healthier than it used to be. And also, you don't get so hungry. If you go on a grain-free diet, you actually don't get hungry. If you break the diet and you cheat, you get very, very tired. She told me that would happen, and once or twice I was a bit naughty, and it did happen. So, but I'm very, very good. And while I've been here with my my son and my daughter-in-law is so good. I mean, tonight I had a separate meal than she and my son, because she made me completely grain-free, and they were having something with rolls and things. But she's really good. She's making. I've been sticking to it very well. No, I'm not. It's not gluten. I don't. No, it's grain. It's totally grain. No grain. Sadly, GPs just reach for the prescription, but they do, absolutely. And the guy who was supposed to be the skin specialist, he wasn't cracking anybody's problems. He was just reaching for. I suppose, are they paid by the drug companies? Who knows? To make sure that we stick on the on the drugs. Who knows? Has she got a... you're so tired in the day. Sarah, it might be worth talking to her because she's helped so many people, with different complaints, helping them. So it might be worth me putting you in touch with her, Sarah. What can you eat instead of bread? Right, okay. All sorts of things you can have in front. You can see, I have things like banana bread and all that sort of thing. I use coconut flour. If any of you want to know about all this, let me put you in touch with Tina. She is part of our group, but she doesn't usually come into the broadcast because she's such a busy person. Let me put you in touch. She has a group that's called, she's got a grain-free group on Facebook, and she's helped lots of people with their different complaints. So Sarah, I don't know, it might be that she can help you. Let me connect you. Right, there we go. Maria's saying a vitamin D tablet helps for her. Right, okay. So what can you have instead of bread? Yes, you see, my go-to used to be bread. I used to eat loads of bread and butter, but I don't now. But I don't miss it. But you can. There's lots of things you can make. You just need to understand it, and then just change it. The internet is full of helpful stuff now. Loads of recipes that are grain free. We had pancakes the other day, but they were more like Scotch pancakes because we used coconut flour or almond flour, those sort of things. There is loads. So anyway, Andrew's saying it's Pink Day tomorrow. Pink Day, Tortilla Chip Day. Can't have the tortilla chips. You hate Coriander Day. I hate Coriander Day. Oh, sorry, you don't hate it. It is called I Hate Coriander Day, is it? Right. World Bartender Day, Inconvenience Yourself Day, Real Bread Week. Well, I can't have the real bread. Fair Trade Fortnight, Take Your Family to School Without the Car Week. Oh my goodness, what a lot of things to celebrate. Hang on. Right, okay. Kath says she loves coriander, so she's not going to be celebrating I Hate Coriander Day. Sarah says she's going to give it a go. So yes, Sarah, do, because if there's anything she can do to help, and it makes such a difference to your life because you get so tired, it's worth having that conversation with her. And she's very happy to help. She's been happy to help other people as well. Yvonne's saying vitamin D is brilliant. Maria loves coriander as well. Lots of love coming up the side there. So so if it's Pink Day tomorrow, I haven't got anything pink with me. I'll have to, oh, I might have some pink wool. I'll have to find something pink. Can't it be multicoloured purples day? So that I can start wearing. No, I can't wear my new jumper because I've only got one front, so my new cardigan. Patricia loves coriander as well. So there we go. Yes, so Maria's saying give it a go. I think she means, does she mean vitamin D, she says. And you know, these things, you do have to stick at them. If you only do it for a day or so and then say it doesn't work, it's because you haven't given it enough chance. So there we go. Kath can do pink day. Excellent. There we go. Well, I can look. I can do red day. I might find. Oh, I think I have got. Look, here's one of my gloves that I made with my lovely Aldi wool. There we go. Look, I can wear for tomorrow. I can put one of my gloves on. The other one, I don't know where the other one is. I've lost one. Look, here we go. I made these last year. This was my first attempt at cable. I'd never done cable stitch before, and this was that lovely wool from Aldi's. And so I have got 2 gloves, but I think the other one's up. They've got separated. I think one's upstairs. Right, okay, hang on. Let's see. Carol saying Len couldn't eat anything with gluten in, so he had to be very careful checking labels. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Gluten intolerant. And you know what? My other son, not the one I'm living with, but the other son, his girlfriend is gluten intolerant, and they have to, you can't bring anything, you know, when I stay there, I'm not allowed to take any food into the house. You know, she gets so ill, so very ill. They have to be so careful. My son is a chef by trade. He does all the cooking in their house, and they just have to research everything so carefully because she gets really ill. So there we go. Janice has just found that your baby grandson is dairy intolerant and he's only 4 months old. Oh, bless him. They have to get his milk on prescription. Oh, bless. Right, Kath is offering advice there about vitamin D. Well done. Thank you for everybody giving their tips on this, because, you know, all these top tips will help members of the community. Could put pink songs on tomorrow. Absolutely. Yes, you could. Jackie's saying good night. Night, Jackie. Love you. Aldi vitamin D tablets are brilliant. £3 something a bottle. Best ones you've had. Right. Okay. So there we are. Maria's recommending Aldi's vitamin tablets. And I have cod liver oil tablets every day. And I certainly felt really good. Since I've been taking them, so I don't know whether it was just a combination of things or it was taking them as well. So there we go. Vitamin D is supposed to help your immune system against COVID-19. So you started taking. Excellent, well done, Patricia. Not tried a spray. You're going to look at that. Right, okay. Right, folks. Well, I'm going to finish up. Harrison is egg intolerant. He's not allergic as he's been tested, but when he has them, his tummy is poorly. Well, it sounds like, you know, oh, right, so, right, okay, so got to avoid eggs. But I don't suppose that means Easter eggs as well, does it? I'm sure that one's okay on the agenda. So anyway, folks, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch something else, maybe a quiz show, and do a bit more of my knitting. Right, so Carol's taking vitamin D as well. Night, everyone. Yeah, that's it. Right, Kath was tested by the GP and was a bit deficient. There we go. So you've got levels that are up again. Excellent. That's brilliant. I think I know what you meant, Kath. No, Easter ones are okay. I thought they would be. Night, everybody. Thank you so much. Look, I'm getting ready for pink day now. I will take it off before I go to bed. Oh, look, I found a piece of pink wool now. Fancy that. Look, there we go. Getting ready for pink day. Okie dokie, folks. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a brilliant rest and sleep, all of you here in the UK. If you're at the other side of the world, or it's not bedtime wherever you are at the moment, enjoy the day or the rest of the day. I think the States they're behind us in time, aren't they? Australia, you are at the beginning of your day, so And we do have an international audience. So everybody, whatever time of day it is, stay safe. And a pink headband. Right, okay. Shall I just whiz some pink headbands up, Yvonne? Is that what you're suggesting? I think it is. Oh no, I know what Yvonne's suggesting. My headbands in the pack of headbands that I bought. I bet you there is a pink one in there. Thank you, Yvonne, for reminding me. So, night, everybody. Stay safe. Thank you for joining me, and see you all again very soon. Bye.